22 horsepower Briggs and Stratton engine backfires, flames come out of exhaust. Prior to this, removed and cleaned carb, fuel was mixing with oil and re-entering carb through breather tube. It worked fine last night, good idle. Today backfiring and flames from exhausts. Wont start.
Hi. This sounds like you have a valve that is sticking open. It may be nothing more than a valve adjustment.
Okay, not to be dumb, but it was fine yesterday. How hard is it to make the adjustment?
These valves need to be adjusted at least every 2 years. Actually, the service manual says it should be done every year, but usually we can get 2 years off of them. Good question.
Okay, is there a specific clearance?
If you have not done this before, it might be more than you want to try yourself, but I will get you a manual for the engine if you get me the exact model and type number off of the engine. Yes, the clearances usually are between 0.005 and 0.006 between the valve stem and the rocker arms when the valves are completely closed. Here is a video of setting the valves. It may not be of the same model as yours, but the process is the same. Also make sure that you have the proper amount of oil in the engine. Here is some additional information. http://hubpages.com/hub/hard to start Briggs and Stratton Engine. Here is a video that should help you try to adjust the valves. How to set the valves on overhead engines. B and S http://www.youtube.com/watch. V equals NJZX PUICMO set valves between 0.004 and 0.005. Please leave a good rating for me, as that is the only way I get paid for my time. If you cannot give me one of the highest ratings, then please do not rate me at all until we discuss this answer further and you are happy with my answer.
NNN1. I rebuilt engines in the past. Automobile, I love a challenge. LOL. Could the valve have gotten stuck from sludge or gunk from the oil entering the carb via the vent tube to the breather?
Yes, it easily could have gotten stuck from those items. Easily.
Whatever the outcome, you will receive an outstanding rating. You're here on a Sunday afternoon.
Thanks. Here is the parts list for your engine. http://www.partstree.com/parts/question_LC equals Briggs plus and plus Stratton and MN equals 40767702581. Give me a minute and I will get you the service manual. It may take a couple of minutes.
Why would the fuel be in the oil? Never heard of that before. But everything I read pointed to a dirty carb. No problem, I can wait a few.
If fuel is in the oil, there are only two things that will cause this, and it happens often. First, the carburetor float needle is not closing all the way and is letting the fuel bypass, and it will then go into the oil. Second, if there is a fuel pump on this engine and it has a small hole in the fuel pump diaphragm, gas will go throttle pump and into the crankcase. Here is the service manual for your engine. https://sendnow.acrobat.com/?I equals oi duur bekiik 1 ihuju ukw. The link will be good for only 7 days. That problem may be the real cause of your problems. It might not be the valves at all. But it would be a good idea to check anyway.
I think I fixed the fuel problem by putting a shut-off valve in line. Turn it off when it's not in use. Because fuel was entering carb even though it wasn't running. Like I said, I cleaned and blew out the carb. It was running fine last night. Today, it started and then ran rough. At full throttle it was backfiring and throwing flames out of the exhaust. Looked awesome. But not quite good.
Do not use a fuel shutoff like you said you did. All you have done is keep it from leaking when you are not using the unit. If you continue to use this with the carburetor problem like it is, you will ruin the engine. The engine will still be getting too much fuel when it is running. This extra fuel will wash the cylinder. Which means that it will ooze the oil off the cylinder and will result in the piston and cylinder scoring because of lack of oil. The carburetor problem must be resolved correctly. Sorry for shouting, but it is very important that you follow my recommendations. The shutoff would just prolong the inevitable a blown engine.
I understand. I will remove, take apart and clean the carb again. I will check the valves as well. I appreciate your time and patience. Thank you for the service manual. Have a blessed day.
You too. Make sure that you get a complete carburetor repair kit. Just cleaning the carburetor will not likely help unless you replace the needle and seats. Good luck. If you need any more help with this, you can contact me here at this question. Even after you have given me a good rating. Please leave a good rating for me as that is the only way I get paid for my time. You may also consider sending a bonus if I have been helpful. If you cannot give me one of the highest ratings, then please do not rate me at all until we discuss this answer further and you are happy with my answer. Also, some of these carburetors have brass seats in them and may have to be removed and replaced by a service shop, and the brass seat is not included in the repair kit. Also, some of these carburetors do not have a replaceable seat. And if replacing just the needle does not help, also check for a hole in the float. You may end up having to replace the entire carburetor. Good luck.
Thank you.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.